look at the program first before we start with tracing. Okay, we'll just have a look at it. Now have a look at the variable declaration part. Okay, two arrays require, both the arrays need to be in sorted order, primary requirement. So two arrays I have taken, A and B. What about the array C? That is going to be the new array that is created after merging of the array A and merging of array B. Variable m and n are what? Size of the array A and size of array B respectively. Variable I is for array A, variable J is for array B, and variable K is for array C. Now have a look at line 11 and 12. It is asking how many elements in first array A. So we need to just store the size, which is denoted by variable m. So after that, we will accept all the elements. Have a look at the printf statement. What it is printed? Enter the elements of array A in sorted order. Fine. We have already mentioned that you need to enter the elements in sorted order. What about this for loop? What is the task of the for loop here? To read the elements or store the elements in the array A. Next. Same thing we do for array B. Right? How many elements you want to put in array B? Store the size in the variable n. Next part will be to read or to store it in array B. Have a look at which variable we have made use of for iteration or to travel through the array B. J. Now, here we will initialize all those three variables I, J and K to 0. Fine. We'll begin with the tracing simultaneously. I just want you to have a look here. Look at this slide. Just have a look at the code. With the tracing, we will understand. In short, I will tell you what we are doing here, okay? In this while loop, first thing is, since we have two different arrays, what we are trying to say is whether the index I or the index J should be less than the size of the array. Correct? Because I told you, see, initially when I said, I asked you to observe where I and J are pointing. They were initially pointing at the first index position. Correct? Then we can access the element only if the variable I is present within the array. The moment the variable I goes outside the scope of the array, you cannot access it. Imagine an array of size 4. If I ask you to move each of the elements with the help of variable I, okay, have a look here. Have a look at this particular array A. 4 elements are there. You know that I is going to be the subscript or the index value. What if I comes here at index 4? Is there any element? Can you access it? It means what? I has gone beyond the scope of your array. Just like for the previous binary search, we had a condition where low was greater than high. So here also if I is going out, means there are no elements. So that is the condition we are checking here in the while loop. I has to be less than m. Similarly, this variable j has to be less than n. Less than n means within the size of the array. It should be within the size of the array. N is size of the array. Are you getting this? What is the while loop? I'll tell once again. M and n denote size of the array. Correct? Now, if I want to access any element, for example, I'll ask you, tell me which is the array element present at index 4? 90. If I tell me which number is present at index 6. There is no index 6. So it means what? J has come here. So J has come here. Imagine just J has come here. Okay. At the index 6. Have a look at the condition here now. Is J less than N? Yes. So what is size? 6. Where J is placed? Outside, it has gone outside. There is no element only. So which element will you access then? So that is why we have made use of the while loop there. Just to check whether we are still within the scope of the array. Next part. This is just to compare the two elements. Okay. Which element is smaller? We'll compare the element of array A, compare the element of array B. Whichever is smaller, you will put it in array C. Then you need to iterate the variable I and you need to iterate the variable K. I is for which array? First, A. Here, first time, when we moved for this demo, J was put first. Correct? But then still if J is at that index only, there is no element there. J's value has to increment. Then we can access the next variable. Similarly, if your first element is not the smallest, else part, we executed the else part here in the demo. This is just the basic introduction. Let us start with tracing so that you people will understand it in better way. Now what I have done here is, see here, I have taken this array. The elements, single digit elements are the index values. Okay. The array A is here with the elements 10, 30, 50 and 60. Are they in sorted order? Look at array B. Check the size. 6. Are they in sorted order? Yes. And here is the index J. Here we have the index I. So initially I will be initialized to 0. J is also initialized to 0. What about the variable, the array C? Array, no, it is empty still, nothing is there. But have a look at the statement here. All the variables I, J, K are initialized to 0. So, we have a variable called as K, which is initialized to 0. Correct? I, J and K are initialized to 0. Observed everyone? Let's proceed now. Next thing is we have a while loop, which is indicated here. Should I increase the font size? Visible? The while loop. Let us start now. Tell me the value of I. 0. Is 0 less than n? What is the value of n? 4. Value of j, we have initialized to 0. I, j, k is initialized to 0. Less than n, 6. Is the condition true? What is the use of AND operator? Compare, but both should be true. Correct? If one is true, one is false, it becomes false. So this is true. Then we come to the if portion here. Next is the if condition. So I have written in the Excel only. If A of I, what is the value of A of I? Value I am saying 10. Less than B of J. Is 10 less than 20? Yes. Next, if it is true, we will execute this if condition. Okay. We need to execute these set of statements. So that I have written here. Okay. This is the if condition. If this is true, we need to execute this. So if it is true, what you have to do? You have to pick this element 10 and what you have to do, put it in your array C. Check with the code. Tell me the value of C of k. I mean C of k. C, what is the value of k? 0. C of 0 should be equal to A of I. A of I is here, which is 10. So it means what? We have compared 10 with 20. 10 is less, so we need to put it in a new array C. Correct? Following? Now you have a look here. I is pointing to which index? 0. Is there any element now at 0? No. Correct? So what we need to do? We have to now compare this element. So what we need to do? Increment your I variable. So I is going to come here. Fine. Let me write the updated value here of I, which is 1. We also have to increment k. Why should we increment k? Move ahead, but why? We need to place a new element. Correct. It is already at 0, index 0, already 10 is there. I can't put another element there. Next empty cell will be at index 1. So we will increment k. K will come here. Let me also write the updated value. This much is understood, first part. Now let's proceed. We are done with execution of this. I am sure we do not require else part. We are still in the while loop. Let us once again check for this condition. Now, tell me the value of I. 1. 1 is less than 4 and j. What about j? 0. See here, I have not changed anything for j. It is as it is. So j is 0. 0 is less than 6. The condition is true. If it is true, if this condition, while condition is true, we will go inside our while loop. Inside the body of the while loop, we have the if condition. So let us check for the if condition now. So tell me again the value of A of I. 30 is less than B of J, which is 20. False. So if this condition is false, these will not execute. The else block is going to be executed. So else is written here, okay, with this color. So here we are now. This will not be executed. This will not be executed. This will also not be executed. We'll come to else. Else, what we need to do now? Which element should we pick? See, I compared 30 and 20. Which is the smallest? 20. I need to pick 20 from here and put it in our new array. Correct? Check with the code. C of what should be the index value of k? 1. C of 1 is going to be equal to B of j, which was 20. Let me increment j now. And also let me increment k. This k, since yesterday I was doing this, that is present, don't be confused with that. Let me write the updated values here. 1, k, have a look here. K is 2. This part is done. Again, which statement will be executed now? We look here, we executed this. We are still in the while loop. Check for the condition I 1 less than 4 and 1 less than 6. If condition, if A of I, what is the value of A of I? 30 is less than. If it is true, we will execute the if. C of here, no, we need to put here. Have a look here at the index value, it is 2. C of 2 is equal to 30. Let me just update it from here. We need to increment I and we need to increment K. What is the updated value of I now? 2, 3. Now, again the while loop. Let's check for the condition again. Last girl, tell me the value of I less than M. Savant or Samant? Partner? Less than 4 and J. You have to check for J. 1 is less than 6. Is it true or false? If condition 50 is less than 40. We are comparing here and here. So 50 is less than 40, which is false. So if it is false, this is not going to be executed. We will move to the else part. What will happen in the else part? C of 3 is equal to which element? Then what about the variable J? It will increment. So what will be the updated value? What about K? 4. Let me put the updated values. Sorry. Check if I've done correctly. Right? Let us update the value of K as 4. So next, Siddharth, in the next iteration. Less than 6, correct? If 50 less than 70. So C of 4 is going to be equal to variable I, K, 5. Sit Siddharth. What else? What changes I need to do? Correct? Let's move ahead again. While loop less than 4 and J is at index 2. Here. J is here. Sorry, 2 less than 6. Which is true. Check for the if condition. Let us scroll on top a little. 60 less than 70. So again, this will be executed. C of 560. And the value of I increments K 6. Now observe, I has come outside the array. Fine, the values are updated. What will be here now? 4 less than 7 and less than false. Fine. This code is not going to be executed. Now, let's have a look at next. Check only for while I less than m. Fine. What is this is? See, we did the comparison, we put the elements. Now suppose one array has got empty. Like in our case, A array has got empty, but B still elements are there. So observe the comments here, appending the remaining elements of A. But if you look here, there are no elements in the array A. All the elements are gone. So it means what? This condition will be false. Let us check, let us write here. So the code I have written here. While I, what is the value of I now? I has become 4 less than 4, which is false. Okay. So if this is false, this set of statements won't execute. We will come to this part. Next code. What is this code for? Append the remaining elements of B. B is still having elements in the array there. So let us check for J less than N now. J is 2. 2 is less than 6. True. So what do you have to do now? Just go on appending, joining the remaining elements. C of k, what is the value of C of k? 6. So C of 6 is going to be equal to B of j. B of j is 2. At the index 2 we are 7. Then increment j, j will become 3. Increment k, 7. Let me update it from here. 70. We have incremented j. We have incremented k. Correct? Next, are we still in the while loop? Yes. So tell the next value. 3 less than 6. C of 7 will be equal to 80. This is going to be 4. So let me remove this element, put it in the array C, increment the value of k and also increment the value of j. Still are we in the loop? J is 4 less than 6. C of 8, 90. So let me put it back here. Observe your array C. Okay. Are you feeling that the remaining elements that we are appending, are they in the correct position? Are they in the sorted order? Yes. So the basic requirement for merge array is both the arrays needs to be in sorted order. Suppose here instead of that 90, you had 100, correct? Then what would happen? When you try to sort, we are just appending no, at the end. It will not come in sorted order because we are just picking the elements and then putting it up. So getting, suppose here I have 100. Have a look there at the screen. Here at index 4 I had 100 and at index 5 I have 90. What will happen then? It's not being sorted order because first I am going to place 100 and then I am going to place 90. That is why the requirement is put the array elements in sorted order. Next, 5 less than 6, C of 900. Increment, here I have not updated, let me write 5 and 9. So this will be 6 and this will be 10. Will you miss any element? Fine. Correct? This is one extra which will come here. C of 9 means we have 10 elements. J is incremented, anyways the elements are over. Now observe, is your array A and array B empty? Is your array C consisting of all the elements in correct order? Fine. So this concept is called as merge sort. Let's see the execution. Let me put the same elements in sorted order. We'll go for another instance wherein we are not putting the array elements in sorted order. We jumble them up and put. Students who are online, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Pay attention. What is the cd command used for? Change directory. What? If you look at my home folder, I got to know that you people have a lot of trouble in the lab. You people are not able to save the folder or the files. Now this is my home folder. Okay. I do not have the programs here. I have created a separate folder, BS 2021 for your batch. Inside this, I am saving all the files. So when I try to directly execute on the terminal here, instead of CD, if I am going to say GCC, my program name is merge sort. Okay, I press enter. See what error I have. No such file or directory. What is happening is when we are at this location, it means we are in the home folder. We are here. Have a look here. Can you see any merge sort file? There is no merge sort file. That is why it is giving me that error, no such file or directory. Files are these. These icons in yellow color or the orange color, they are called as folders. These are called as files. Text files or .c files that we have created. Now if I want to execute my file, I need to go inside this folder. Here see, do you have any merge sort? Is there? For that, what I am saying is, from the home directory, change it to that folder with the same name. I need to give the same name. Okay. I press enter. Now you observe this path. The execution of this terminal is now inside the folder. So inside that folder, I can give any name which is existing. So now if I say GCC merge sort.c, executing. So you need to make sure in which location you have saved your file. Sometimes people are saving it outside, you are accessing it in some other folder. Path, this is called as the path. This path in Ubuntu will indicate your home directory. Like Windows, you have My Computer, the bigger one which contains everything. Correct? So here there is no My Computer, but you have this home folder. That itself you will act like a My Computer there, which will contain all files and directories. Root element it is called. Okay. Let us execute. It is asking how many elements for array A. Let us say 4. Let us enter the elements 10, 30, then 50 and say 60. What about B? Tell the elements 20, 40, 70, 80, 90 and 100. Are they correct? Correct? Check for the sorted. Sorted. We'll go for another instance. Okay. I'll give it 4. Let me give it as 6. Sorry. 6. Let's say 12. 4, 5, 60. This is in unsorted order. 4 elements. Let me say 6. Let me enter the elements. Six elements are over. They are not in sorted order. Is it able to sort the new array C? So now what I want is for homework, take unsorted order, both the arrays. Take only if you want 2 and 3 elements, total 5, and try to trace it for unsorted array. You will not get the correct output. You can't create an array C wherein all the elements are arranged in proper order. How? Yes. You can give an input to this. I agree. But only for this program I'm saying. What he said is absolutely right. Yesterday, 2 searching techniques we have studied and then bubble sorting we have studied, right? So if you try to implement, as I said, the previous technique in this, first sort the arrays, create new array A and B, and then go for this sorting. So what I want is, instead of going for that, you just try to take 2 arrays which are in unsorted order and then try to merge them. Fine? Students who are online can drop your attendance. People take this program, merge sort. This is a journal program again. This is a journal program. Start. No, it is for this terminal here. This terminal to clear up if previously anything is there, garbage value. We call it as garbage values. I guess in C all have made use of get clear, get ch, not get ch. Get ch will come at the end. In C all have made use of one command. Get CLS or something. CLS. Clear screen. Clear screen. This is system dot clear. Both functions same. Start from 291. 290. 290. Wait. I call out. You just say present or absent.